Want people to study Dr. King, his message of nonviolence, and how it actually can change the world. And students at his alma mater, Morehouse College, are doing just that. 11 Alive's Karis Belger has a closer look tonight.
Should you try to change institutions, or should you try to change people?
In the center of Morehouse's historic campus, on the steps of the building bearing his name,
I think it's very important to allow him to be a human with frailties and shortcomings.
two men stopped to discuss the life and legacy of one of the institution's most revered alumni.
I am the Martin Luther King Jr. Endowed Professor of Religion. What comes to mind immediately is King's presence in Sale Hall in the chapel upstairs, and how that space helped to nurture him, to help shape his thinking.
In 1944, before writing his famous speeches, King was a 15-year-old freshman at Morehouse. He graduated with a degree in sociology 4 years later. The rest, as they say, is history. Today, King's life and work are a subject of study.
We can talk about his social activism, but then there's some other parts that we talk about which I think are healthy for conversation when we humanize him.
And serious reflection.
I teach philosophy, they're much more in depth. So my response is always to maintain his humanity. Growing up in Atlanta, it wasn't about agreement, but it was following certain fundamental ideas like his principle of love.
For Professor Ilya E. Davis, that means going beyond the icon and looking closely at the individual, forcing students to define King's impact for themselves.
When he talks about poverty, he talks about asymmetrical social, political structures, economic structures. You need to answer that for yourself. King had his time.
In Atlanta, Karis Belger, 11 Alive News.
And